methodically make their way forward onto the A site. And Envy, they don't really have much, of course, with this a couple stingers that exist, and you know it is going to be somewhat of a force for them. So there is firepower, but the way that we're seeing the approach here from Immortals is looking quite good. That recon dart's going to make things, or it looks like it makes things quite easy for Neptune, but he's going to get taken down. And in the chaos, Envy are finding some frags.
Yeah, quickly a 3v2. JMO's low as he gets dropped by Caboose. The Sheriffs are coming up big here as a reload comes in for Caboose. Can his shots ring true? There's one to the face of Neptune. Will he be able to send this one over the moon? One more shot to the left. He's got to make this work for himself. Gangsta as well. Oh, gets himself a gun. Oh, even with the steps there, he's able to find Gangsta. That's going to be the round for himself. And calm, cool, and collected, Envy says, hey, there's a few rounds going in favor of Immortals, but we can still shut this down. And we saw Immortals kind of running the same thing there, going at A, and Envy seemed to already figure out how to stop it.
Yeah, it's definitely very hard to control, especially when there's a stack towards that site of just 3 players even. It just bogs down the choke point so much. I mean, for us, it's hard to kind of see what's happening sometimes as commentators, being able to see everything all at once, but for the players, it must be just as difficult. But yeah. Regardless, I'm liking this play from, you know, sticking Caboose on that raise towards the B-long position. On top of that crane, not to come back to that in a moment though, because Food will actually make a forward play there towards the A nest and beyond towards the belt. And that's actually going to work out quite nicely. Taking the aggression straight to Immortals is benefiting Envy marvelously well so far.
Mummy loves that area. We see him working the pipes there in A over and over again. Just feels so confident, vibing on that round as he picks himself up a 3K. And A seems to be on lockdown now, so we'll have to see if Immortals still wants to try their hand at that side. A lot of things you can do here, just waiting, faking. We've seen very fast rounds, and we'll see if that starts to be switched up here and they use the middle of the map.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Riv, that, you know, using the middle of the map. I think a lot of this early A presence, usually in your attack on the first, like 4 to 5, maybe even up to 6 rounds, you're trying to condition the defense. So in that second half of the first half, respectively, you can start to play off of the conditioning that you've, you know, put onto your opponent. So right now, there is a huge argument for Envy on the defense to really hold a lot of players towards this A side of the map. It's actually a push. On the B side, they understand what's going on.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mummy pushed up last round, and there's always going to be that push from the MV side to say, hey, so much information is now grabbed. Utility is more useful over at A. If we start to use it, won't go to waste. The shots won't happen. Ostani picks up Finesse real quick as Mummy again comes up with a few. This is his playground in A as he's rocking Omen on the split, as we're seeing it for the first time here in First Strike on the opening map. And we have to remember, both of these teams coming in, kind of rebuilding. The Crashies Food.
Yo, look at this right now.
Well as Immortals having their own changes with those players leaving. So everybody here learning a little bit more of how
Immortals picked this map.
Newest map
Yeah, there's definitely a grim outlook so far in the early rounds here for Immortals. We talked about the conditioning. How
this guy's screwed, dude.
As the attackers really make it so that the defenders have to respect what you're doing. And, well, maybe Gangsta can still create an argument. It's a great headshot, but there is still 3 more players left standing in Envy, and the time is not with him. And it looks like Food will find his flank. So, just to finish the previous point, if you're in the position of Immortals, you really need to have that conditioning work. But at the moment, they're in this spot where
Immortals pick this map.
They're actually winning the exchanges on A.
Right now, they're on attacking side.
So this is the point. This next buy round scenario for Immortals, you'd expect that they should go to whatever is the next sort of strongest approach to a round that doesn't include such heavy A pressure. They really have to switch it up at this point.
Okay, that is.
Ultimates, they do have the lockdown that they could use. Looks like they're setting up defense behind them. They love.
Okay, there is one trip here in kitchen, which is what I also do. Okay, this is one really common. She jet dashed over it. And a recon here. That is also very common.
There's another kill as JC Stani's able to trade.
Yeah, able to get some grounds here, but the question is if they're able to find the space and the time to find a plant. Get that spike pressure on Envy, but
that was a good TP from here to here.
And once again, the brute force here on this A side is
damn good TP.
It does seem like what the matches we watched in November monthly for NSG is kind of the strat is played and then it becomes a big fight.
So I think you'll see a trip here again.
Looking for each other. If they do keep going A, we definitely have to take a little bit closer look of where the smoke.
And I think he put it closer to this.
Doing something that they feel is going to work on the side of Immortals.
Not sure. They can just go under this and then get on top here. Nobody's holding this area for some reason. Okay, you can see. Yeah, Homan is making sure he doesn't go this way. Because the trip is in this small area. That's actually great. Now he's also watching. And there is a turret also, so he'll know if someone peeks. Okay, this Reyna is coming out. I think this turret should spot it. Yep. Okay, that was super strange.
From JC Stanny just to get some info to see if that rotation has occurred, and looks like it's going to be a lockdown for Neptune.
Okay, now he's going this way.
How many actually could have left? A nice tag there. Caboose goes down. FNS falls in the chaos that Immortal starts to create. Allows them.
Okay, that was a great ult. He knew everyone is here, so he just used his ult. Normally we all play here, so damn.
This is very difficult, isn't it? That lockdown really cleared out a lot of space there. It's going to be down to the individuals here. Food kicks things off quite nicely. Second kill.
Yeah, it's over.
Work these angles, the dismiss one after the other to try and reposition here to get another engagement. Another 1 versus 1. The Empress is really proving very beneficial, but Neptune will shut down Food, and that'll be the end of his.
Yeah.
That was kind of scary for Immortals.
Yeah,
that was a close round.
Back up there by Gangsta. I think he knew that Food was vibing on that after that shot we saw come in through Gmo.
Okay, there'll be a turret here. A trip here from defense. In my opinion, he shouldn't put the turret here anymore because they'll expect it. But the thing about this turret is it'll cover a lot of area. And he could be here, he could be here, and still the turret will be active. So that's a pretty good spot. If you put it here, it's not really useful. Even though it's harder to break. Yeah, nice.
Sometimes towards B long, towards the crane in the garage, and he just is mixing it up, and that kind of unknown quantity that exists within.
Again, same thing. One guy is watching this because that trip doesn't cover this window here. There's a window here which you can get into kitchen with.
Even if the opponents know you're coming, they're gonna have to just make it work.
Yeah, and I love you're pointing out it's Food there because the band map coming in from Immortals, one of the best for Envy, and on split defense, it's Caboose that's going forward.
They knew they destroyed the turret. But I don't think they'll know about it because Killjoy died before. Or Killjoy died and it didn't get activated.
2 more kills coming in for Immortals, and this looks like they should be able to solidify the round with positioning. JC Stanny makes that a little bit more possible.
Oh my god. That is...
Say it was, you know, it felt like it, right?
That was an insane pick. That was too good. That was mechanically too good.
One of the reasons Envy is so deadly is how strong, of course, they can make these halves. They can really be such an overwhelmingly dominant.
I don't know. This is good, but they know about it.
Position. Perhaps that we will see more pressure towards that garage there as well.
So he's watching this. Reyna is gonna pick these 2 guys. I think they should see each other. Oh no, 1 HP, damn. Oh.
to ramp up to that top of A. They will see good shots there onto Caboose. It looks like they still want to get these through. Caboose able to find that damage back.
Stuck. They don't have anything to know whether someone is pushing or not. The only way is to just go forward.
First two initial plays
Yep.
Damn it.
rather disappointing for Immortal, set them back so far, but you
I don't know. They should punish this Reina. She's coming every time.
prepare.
You know, multiple times she's you can see her coming here or she's coming here, and nobody is punishing that. So half the time they're here, half the time many of their teammates are here, but there is two people sitting in the back. Very strange.
Potentially more aggressive. So in that sense, you know, Envy knew what was coming, and so far it's going quite well.
Wait, what is this gap here?
An obvious statement, but we need to see Immortals find a way to switch this up, because it's looking like we're just getting a, you know, the record's just on repeat at the moment. They're pushing A, they're getting caught off by food from the flank. It just seems like the same thing over and over.
That's where I was gonna go with this next.
There's a gap here. What?
Number 9 here. We have not seen any aggression even towards B. I don't think they've even put utility on that side, and it's been Envy pushing through B more towards that crane. And again,
Like, see, there's a gap here, but there is nothing here.
And it definitely works.
It's just the stairs.
If you feel like you're going to be a better shot, right? If you don't want to have utility start the game off, because it always does feel like there will be a single dry peak to find one of these angles. Here, they're going to have on both sides. And
both of them are using the drone. I think he saw that one guy's here.
it just seems like a quick firefight first, and not a
Okay, this time all fire on site.
just makes it quite inconsistent when you're trying to attack. Immortals getting a few kills out of this one though, as they use
Is not active anymore.
and let Envy push into the damage.
But they already killed 3 of them.
His ultimate there, that's quite unfortunate.
Okay, they know that Mummy obviously plays this.
By once again being so incredibly annoying. Paranoia goes through, but the Lear will deal with food as it.
Okay, everyone knows where he is.
1 versus 4 is not looking all that good, of course. Has to respect.
Damn, but
Immortals will
it's
not do it.
weird to see an woman carry an operator.
And there we go. Finally, it works. You know,
Yeah.
eventually it's going to work. So,
Let it
got
be
that,
known.
Immortals.
Only
And-
8 times will you stop us, says Immortals.
And you know what, Rip? You know, they're going to get their 3rd round on the board. And although
yeah.
really has looked very bad for Immortals, they're
Saving the operator.
3 rounds against
That's
Envy
great.
right now. And it may be the
Absolutely.
case that Envy might have similar struggles on the offense. We don't know exactly how it's going to look, especially in Valorant.
And the number of... So this is FNS. He's one of the best players in NA.
Absolutely, you see FNS on your screen there chatting with the team.
I'm pretty sure Envy will win this.
They're going up, taking shots. They only use a bit of utility, and then they stopped. And they played to Envy saying, well, we want to know what's going on. Let's push through. And that's where they were able to receive the kills they haven't been getting. Once again, though, DDK, how about some A? Let's go back to that side. Two ultimates ready.
Okay, one trip here and one trip here. This is new. This trip is new.
That can cause a lot of damage, whether he's on his jet or his Omen. And we
Okay, this Omen TP'd here. I don't think they know about him.
And there are some good ultimates available. At least
Yep, so did.
Envy coming in on the retake. We'll have to see what they're able to do. As Finesse tries to get some love here from Rafters, but he's being shut down. 2 players on his position on that angle, not allowing him any.
The Omen always sits here.
Caboose, well, he's not going to have any luck, and that will signal the end for Finesse as well. So Immortals, they're finally making these A attacks work. And you know what, Rip? We're seeing Envy mixing up their setups quite a lot, but because it's pretty much the same thing every round for Immortals, that isn't actually helping them. And it may even be making things more difficult.
Sure. The Reina keeps pushing this. Or she comes like this. Or she comes like this. And there's only one turret here. They never went B.
You know, I like this though, because
Yeah.
think about where B is, how it's
Okay, now they're playing aggressive.
forced to go back by crane area. As we have aggression here.
Let's see. Yeah.
It's gonna be a trade back.
There was an Omen
Again,
smoke.
towards A goes the aggression of Immortals. Let's really look at how they set this up.
Okay.
Side, Lear's to the right. Spike's gonna go to the left and go down.
Damn.
But it was still just a blood of the Immortal members.
Oh, he's alone here.
Playing to that aggression of Envy and then some is going
I
to
think he should be able to get
take
this
them
guy.
out, but
Yeah.
does Finesse have just that to take this round back?
These two are just gonna peek these two angles.
Thanks to the neural theft, we'll have to see if he can shoot his way out of this situation when it comes down to it.
Or one guy will watch this and one guy will watch this.
Trying to avoid giving him anything. They know their position's being given up by
I
that neural theft,
guess.
and Finesse trying to jiggle this position, trying to hold the angle to see if he can catch one of the jiggles. Oh, they'll both actually line up for a second, but unfortunately for Finesse, Jamo will be quicker to the shots. And Immortals, we talked about it, looked like a very grim story to begin
Pure.
with.
Both peak simultaneously.
Unrelenting.
And they're lined up.
As you said, Riff, not even really throwing
If he got his shot, he would have won that easily.
It's actually going to work. That's impressive too, right? Obviously you're going to have the majority of numbers, so you have a bit of an advantage presenting yourself to the execution. But
I think Immortals can get one more round. This is their map pick, so they should get one round.
And I love the point you made that this map evens out.
They're pinging this area
You had to always push or have a set
because they
strat.
think that someone is gonna push this.
Could really work well here, and I think that
Reyna is hiding here. Let's see what happens.
Showstopper's gonna come out. No answer onto that one. His shot up gets Mummy to start this one off with the first blood.
Okay.
All food. That's very unfortunate for him. Caboose actually is fighting
Oh my
back though.
dear.
Neptune jumping straight up. Caboose again.
Damn,
To do so much
gangster.
damage here. Oh, it's going to be very difficult to survive though, but it will work out. The boom bot finishes off Jamo, and Finesse is there right in the nick of time
Wow.
before Gangster can recover. And wow, that was so explosive.
Yeah, it goes back and forth, right?
Damn.
You expect to
7-5.
at the end when the ults are used back and forth. You
Too
feel
good.
At the end, it's kind of that rounds 5, 6, 7.
Too
towards the end of
good.
the first half where you see a lot of ults can change what's happening here. Showstopper displacing a few along with the Hunter's Fury, and then oh god.
You hate to see it. Oh my goodness, that's something right there.
Yeah.
So they won the pistol round,
Athletic.
but still
Onto the pistol for the second half. Envy
got only 5. They should have got
It looked so good. It was a story of
7-5 or 6-6 at least, because they picked this map. A map that no one played on a tournament yet.
Alright,
This is the first time.
with the Sova drone. And the thing is,
First
about
time
this,
someone is
ultra well,
playing
it's hard to stay in the site without taking a bump in
Ice
utility to the
box.
face. Then you might be pushed over to Crane, which means
Okay, you can see that Envy is going B.
firefight all the way through.
He's not even looking here. He's looking
J-Mo, though,
nowhere.
with first blood onto Caboose to start this one. They got good placement here from the turret to make sure nobody hops up. for
He's
the
planting
miss.
behind the box.
And it looks like they're just going to let him plant and go for the retake. We'll see how Immortals responds here if they can get back in.
Everyone is
Around
here.
the utility there is going to be very beneficial. The Lear's coming through, and well, Boo's position's known. Around the
They're gonna just ping the spike.
If there's any pushes coming in here, they're just using the cloudburst to try to get it to halfway at the very least, and the spam coming through the smokes is paying off massively here so far for Envy, and they're looking to do all the damage required, and indeed 3 players left alive.
Okay, the plant here
It is an
works
unfortunate look for Immortals.
on a pistol round because
What a good use of this.
on a rifle round, if you try to plant it there, there is a box here which is spammable from here. So many times people will just spam you if you're planting there. Or that's why if you have a sage, you can just wall this and then plant it here.
Yeah, I like how that's a statement. It's like we have the
So,
ability to go left.
So it should work only on pistol round.
Well,
Shouldn't work on.
see how their play towards A is. Of course, it is the anti-eco here for Envy, looking to.
Okay, they got the first pick here. Jet is gonna be here. I think she will make a pick and then just dash this way. And nobody will be able to catch her. Because no one in, unless this guy uses a satchel, is unlikely. Yep, she dashed.
For them to struggle or lose a round here.
Yeah.
And I love this. Bit of pressure. They're already making a case that they're going to stay on this A site, but in fact, it's a full rotation. Great stuff there from Envy.
Yeah, so this guy went all the way here. He cleared this. He cleared this. No, he's a dog.
Cat and mouse. They don't even know each other are there.
Yeah, this guy is definitely gonna get a lot of kills. Oh,
Not sure he can
sad.
pick up that Spectre though.
But he got one, so that's great.
Nice fight. Crashies onto JMO, but will they be able to answer back? Crashies again onto Neptune. He says, no, not this time. We're just farming.
Envy is winning this. They're so prepared with this map, even though they didn't pick it.
To sort of figure out how to make their A hits really sing against Envy, and for Envy, they're just straight off of the bat finding that success. They're playing the entire map. We saw that initial pistol. We saw them defending in the Ati Eco.
See, they're covering kitchen again. You know, you always have to cover kitchen. Because someone can just walk up this shit and then kill everyone on B side. That is... I think that has no value. It's just used for like... For if anyone walks up here and they shoot it, that means you know that they're there. I don't think its value is to do damage. So see, because they destroyed it, they all knew that somebody was here, and then someone was making sure nobody crosses. Okay, now this guy, this alarm bot should catch him. Yep, it caught him. Now he knows. Yep. Oh, this guy traded him. The Cypher. I was just chilling out here.
Like Envy saying, we know Immortals is going to want to push up a bit. We'll use that to our advantage and get some.
Okay, this guy should get at least one. Yeah.
One thing Immortals is great at DDK is just being right.
So this guy has cleared the side.
There's so much that Envy did well in this round to go through. I mean,
he smoked this.
Play and the delay and the information gathering period at the mid round is fantastic. But we'll see first before we go into that what Neptune's able to accomplish here on the Killjoy. Has not all that much
he's gonna
just 60, so he's quite weak. He has the turret there as well, but he doesn't want to drop that willy-nilly because he'll give his position.
Yeah, now he's gonna check his cam.
Possibly use the turret to engage with or to cover him here. Tapping the bomb, trying to make it so that they will feel pressure to try to close in on him, but they know exactly what's going on. No spike defuse coming through.
That's what you just plant here, chill out in this box here.
Definitely be a big map here and put a lot of stress over onto Immortals if this one can be picked up. A sigh of relief a bit, I'd say, in the first half, but here trying to focus up. Immortals are kind of losing rounds.
Strange that we don't see a time pass.
On the side of Envy, and it looks like it is going to be a bit of a Sheriff and Spectre save here.
See again, same thing, an alarm bot.
Stacking up, and that's one of the things. If you're coming away with few kills, you're not going to ult as much. Your fraggers aren't being able to get up there.
Okay, they don't save round.
Starts to fall apart a bit.
Yeah, and I think one thing that we saw in that last round, a demonstration from Envy in terms of their capability as a team is understanding that if they get the information, they can understand as a team how to rotate.
This guy is chilling out here, and the spike planter is not. He's gonna go back now.
And that's something that Immortals have been more of the mind to do. And that's one way that Envy are showing that they're a better team right now, is their capacity.
Wait, where is he sitting?
Capacity to gather information and to call well from it, and creating presence everywhere as well really helps Envy abuse these rotation times and how bad they are for the.
I think this guy heard the drone.
Yeah, absolutely. It's for this eco, it's like the death ball strategy. We saw 5 a day. Now they're rolling over to the B site. Here on Snow Pile, Caboose takes one down. Looks like he's cooking in the kitchen. Too many cooks, though. JC Stani drops Caboose.
Too many cooks.
Is going to be able to find a few towards that Snow Pile as well. They're just having a heyday out here as they have fun on Icebox. 11-5, though.
Okay, we should see the same. I think this time they didn't have enough utilities to like hold this.
Obviously, you're going to respect the team on eco. You don't want to get taken by surprise and just run into a shorty or run into a Sheriff in the face.
Or I think they're not even covering this because this thing covers both the tube and the window.
Seems like they just have a hold on what can happen in this game. And here again, they'll
Okay, this time they put a Sova to cover the mid.
Yeah, just showing that presence, not making it.
Okay, and the Killjoy turret is here. Okay, he called it back.
Question to it as far as Immortals are concerned. So, with that said, though, what we are able to see right now is that MV are encroaching on that A bomb site, moving quite quickly to see.
Okay, he's keeping watch, and then he's also keeping watch.
Somebody spotted here, and Shot Up might be that first player. As we can see, the Boombot is coming for him. He's going to force him to another angle.
Okay, and these three guys are here.
They're waiting for something to give, and it might just be Shot Up.
Well, it seems like that's the first area of kind of action we see.
Yeah, I think he'll need this.
It's good to play defensive.
Like back of this area.
It's the correct area to give, but we do see a lot of times teams taking area for free, use less utility.
These two are like just sitting here, watching the rotation.
Utility here by Caboose goes straight in, looks for the back onto the rafters. He'll find one to his right. That's Gangsta going down. 4 HP now as he
now he should see this jet. And
in this position though, DDK.
oh, that's our Caboose. See, they made sure these two guys are here, and then they just went in, knowing that B is free. That was insane. This sat here the whole game. Almost the whole game they were sitting here. So nobody pushes out. Nobody.
Or they're going to push mid, which was covered, I believe, by Crashies, or they're going to push that garage position. As neither of those things happened, they made the guess that, okay, most players are going to be stacking towards that A site. We'll convince them by running the showstopper.
Put one here and put one on top, I guess. So he has covered this, and then he has covered this. Okay, got killed. Now there's this going kitchen because Killjoy is dead.
And it's already food too far forward. They're going to be able to trade each other. And again, Envy right there behind to get the trades in, working
that was a simple game for Envy. Man, that was the shortest game so far. I saw a lot of games today, and this is definitely the shortest game. It's like what? 30 minutes? 30 minutes. It's like a 30-minute game. What the fuck?
How to interpret things so that you're moving as a unit, and we saw that very clearly here.
Damn.
And A is the play. Apparently.
Yep, 30 minutes.
Saw a few B sites in there, but it's super interesting.
That's really short.
Not even with too much mid intrusion there by anybody going forward to flank onto A. I think maybe once you get through mid, there's just too much to your left, too much to your right, and a gigantic spawn to be covering as an attacker angle to get through. But I can't wait to see more. I hope other teams continue to bring that in.
It's a roller coaster full of young talent.
Because I think we what
roaster full of young talent, yeah.
And Cypher, but they weren't used to a giant extent.
Yeah, and honestly, there would have been a case for Viper in particular on that map of the defense for Envy, just because the toxic screen would have been really good at dealing with all of those flashes that kept flying through. We could see that there were occasions where, you know, they try to hide it. You would try on the defense to hide in your own dark cover to avoid all of the flashes coming through, and the toxic screen would deal very well with that. So maybe we'll see a team bring Viper out. I know that there has been talk of maybe seeing Viper on an icebox, but alas, not this time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're going to take a moment now to toss to the analysts to see what they have to think. Dash, what's going on over there?
13-5. They had.
We're just pumped. We got our first game.
So I kind of feel like Icebox is very attack-sided. This clearly says that Icebox is attack-sided. These guys lost 4 in a row. That is so weird.
difference
Even though they won pistol round, but they lost 4.
Get a couple of rounds on the attacker side when they finally had a killjoy.
That's crazy.
It started to break the economy of Envy to come back on the attacker side. But then after that, how does Envy actually adapt to it? Cypher for me was an interesting pick because of how much vertical this map is on Icebox. Sorry. You're trying to figure out where you could set the trap wires, but in the end, it's really the cyber cages that were placed up by FNS that allows the audible queues instead to allow his teammates for the stack, the 3-man stacks inside B, to get those kills. So it's not about the trap wires, it's just about the audible queues, and the position that they have inside the site was good enough.
Now, Veli, I want to get into our Prime Gaming map highlights here as we begin to talk about not just the approach from Agent Select, but the approach, the strategy within the game. We talk about maybe one-dimensional from Envy in Agent Select. It felt very one-dimensional from Immortals when it came to their attacking side strategy, my friend.
Yo, Dash, I'm gonna let you know now. I thought I was going crazy, man. Immortals, they went A for like the first 8 rounds in a row, and I said, okay, they're gonna leave space to go to B. That didn't happen at all, but thank goodness for Food on Envy. He set the pace and he set the tone. He was able to get easy and quick kills to really shut down Immortals early, but fortunately, Immortals, they were able to learn round after what is eventually gonna happen. We keep attacking A side, right? But it was kind of like